Well, hello, Isabel. Thank you so much for joining me on the Fandid Artistpreneur podcast. How are you doing? It looks like you're working right now, which is awesome.
Yes, hi everyone. Hi Kuya. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. I am in the studio.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, Isabel, she's not only like a little sister to me, but I actually am so inspired by her and especially her journey. If you already know who she is, then IYKYK, right? Like you already know about how amazing her voice is, her music, and just especially her overall energy and spirit really comes across in her art and her cover videos. And she's amassed, crazy numbers, amazing numbers. But I think the thing that I wanted to talk about with her especially is, the Artistpreneur Fandid podcast is about really understanding the journey of what it takes to be an artist, and there are, to me, I'm a believer and there's no levels anymore. We're all kind of on this horizontal plane, and there's just some people that have been walking this journey longer than others. And, there's really no hierarchy. And Isabel, to me, really exudes that, the music that she makes and the audience that she has. It's more than just music, and it's not about ego to me. It's about really connecting. And so I think that she's incredible. But yeah, Isabel, if we can start, like, where did you grow up? Where were you born? And then, when did like the music bug like hit you, or bite you in a sense?
Man, thank you for saying those nice words. Thanks, Kuya. But I grew up in the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines. And it's very embedded in the culture that we all love music. I think like I have a home video of me singing at 2 years old, like with a karaoke. Yeah.
Was it because you even hold the mic? That's amazing.
Yeah, like my mom said I was two, but there's a video of me just like singing in the living room. I don't even know. There were no words. I was just like mumbling. But yeah, it
Which
started
is exactly how
there.
we write music now, anyways,
I
right?
oh how the turntables. With
Turntables. Yes.
yes, The Office. But yeah, I just grew up with music around me a lot, and yeah, my parents sing. They love my whole family sings. I grew up being jealous of my older kuyas, my older cousins, because they would on family gatherings they would like go in a circle and like play guitar and sing amongst each other, and I was like, I want to do that. So I like learned guitar because I wanted to jam with my older cousins too. Um,
I love
so
that
yeah.
so much. Like that's literally the impact that our culture has on us, right? It's like,
Mhm.
right, it fuses like our mix of like the mix of our love for music, but also like our desire to be with our cool cousins. Like
Yes.
legit.
Yeah, it's interesting to think that I started music because I had FOMO.
Yeah, which is, actually real quick, can we talk about that? Because that's something
Yeah.
that I literally like. I started because I learned. I got this album from of a Parokya ni Edgar, like album,
I
and
love
it
that
was
band.
right, and it was a song Harana that I learned first, and it was all because my friend Paul Aquino, shout out to Paul, in sixth grade, he knew how to play it, and I literally just
Oh
had FOMO,
wow.
and then through that, we kind of started this own do. Anyways, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. I love influential friends. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it how it started, but I never really like I guess I was like growing up in school, I was the in the Philippines we would have a lot of like school functions or school programs and everything. And our section or like our specific class would be like in charge of a lot of them. So I would always be you're the intermission number. Every time somebody needs like more time to prepare for something else, they would put me in and like
You're like the
distract the
jingle
audience.
music.
Yeah,
I was like the
exactly.
hold music, right? When
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure. Hey,
So
if you were my hold music though, I would probably just be like, put me back on hold.
wait, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Um, but yeah, that was growing up. But music never felt like it was something that I could pursue in the long run. It was just like this cool thing that I get to do like growing up. But
Wow, that's really amazing
yeah,
that it wasn't like so it wasn't like you were 5 years old and was like I need to do this. It was really kind of a slow burn for you, if you will, if that makes sense. Um I guess, when did it start impacting you that made you actually feel like you actually wanted to go for it and like chase after it? Because I guess maybe before that we can talk about when did you start to post and what made you want to start posting on YouTube?
I started posting. So I made the YouTube channel. I don't remember, 2010 maybe. But it was the year my mom went overseas. So we were in the Philippines, and my mom had to work in the Middle East to support our family. And
Could you talk about
she
that,
was
Isabel? Could you explain what OFWs are?
sure. Oh, OFWs are amazing, amazing. Overseas Filipino workers. There are moms, our aunties, our grandmas, who are our dads, who, had to look for better opportunity to better provide for their family. And my mom is amazing. I have so much respect for my mom for like doing this. So we were just like a growing family, and she had to leave like super soon after my youngest brother was born.
Gosh.
And so I don't know. This is so. Is this a lot? Is this like too much too?
No, this is exactly, and I guess if we just take a break real quick, like honestly, I've cried at like almost every single one, just because the thing that I want, people to understand is that I'm gonna get cry just to talk about it. But the thing is, I want people to understand that we sacrifice a lot for this, and our families sacrifice a lot for us. And I think the thing I'm trying to get at is like, how dare the industry, try to tell us that our journeys are not valid. So even you just telling your story and even like getting into the kind of, and again, you only have to share whatever you feel comfortable with. But like, this stuff just really matters. And I think it's the nuances about that encourage especially other Filipino girls, that are looking up to you to be like, oh my gosh, she's just like me, or I've always thought like that, and no one else, so type of thing.
For sure. But yeah, I only like feel comfortable sharing about her story because I'm so proud of what she was able to like overcome, and my parents during that time. So she left. She had to leave like when my brother was around 3 months old. And it was this. I think it was very very early. And it was one of the hardest things our family had to go through. And so when she left, she wanted to like see my brothers grow up, and she wanted to see videos of them playing. So I made the YouTube channel for my mom's home videos, because I didn't know how else to like send it to her. So yeah, it was from home videos, and then she was like, "You should sing. You should send me videos of you singing." So my dad would like set up a camera, and the bathroom in the Philippines has the great acoustics.
Yes.
It was a pretty nice bathroom, so it wasn't that weird. But it was just for my mom, and so I like started posting videos for her, to just see us growing up and to see me singing, and yeah, so that's kind of how the YouTube channel started. And then a couple years later, after we went to the US, my parents got me this like USB microphone, so that I could like record better.
Was it a snowball?
For my, I don't know. It was one of those like, it was an Avid M audio microphone. I remember it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was like when it started. My sister and I would like record my videos, and I sang, and my sister would go on these Facebook pages, like super popular Facebook pages, and would like share my video there. She's like, "Check out my sister."
Wow.
Hoping to get like to get someone to notice me, and post it and reshare my videos on Facebook. And so yeah, one of the videos got picked up, and yeah, it went viral on Facebook.
Which one was that? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh yeah, it was a cover of "Tuloy Pa Rin" by Neo Colors. There was a McDonald's commercial super popular at the time that used the song. So
the song kind of blew up and people were like familiar with it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just kept going. I just found it so cool that I get to like talk to so many people in the in the comfort of my own bedroom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Isabel, I didn't
Yeah.
know that, like, I mean, I knew a little bit of the story, right? But I didn't realize that the reason that you even started was because your mom literally had to go create better opportunity for her family the best way that she could. And it was all started as a way for her to continue to watch you guys grow up. Like, I mean, I won't cry.
It's okay, you can cry. This is a safe space.
This is the same. Yes, now you've totally taken over the podcast. Thank you for allowing me to be on the podcast, Isabel.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, it's because it resonates so much with my story. Like, my grandma was she was a music teacher, an orchestra conductor. She played the bandurria. Like, she like had her own school out in Zambales, where she was also the principal at. And she, even after she was retired, she would fly from the Philippines, and she would come to Washington, where I grew up, as kind of a layover, extended layover, like for 6 months, and she would be like babysit us, and then she would fly to Alaska to go work in a cannery for 6 months to a year, just so she could send money back. And then she would come, on her journey back to the Philippines, she would come back, stay with us for a few months, and then go. She did this like every year, and I think the thing I'm getting at is, it's easy to think that us artists, like anybody that we see to like succeed or to start having like a growth trajectory like quickly out of nowhere, it's easy to say, oh, they're doing it all on their own. But truly, we've never done it on our own. It's always been from, like you said, your sister is like your manager, was your acting manager at the time, like helping put your music on to these Facebook sites and promote and like encouraging. I'm sure that you probably felt a lot of times like, oh, we don't have to make this public, or, I feel that all the time, like, we don't have to make a big deal about this, but it's the people around us that are like, no, we believe in you, like cheering you on. Do you think that was a big strength to kind of keep going, especially through, from that time all the way up to now?
For sure, 100%. I love that I'm surrounded by like such supportive and this loving family and friends. Like, my sister has always been like my biggest fan, I feel like. Let me next to my parents. Because when I first started posting YouTube videos, I didn't know like how to do anything and everything. So I tend to be very critical of myself.
As we all are.
And as you all are. And like I remember the first hate comments I had on YouTube was, I didn't know she was a girl until she opened her mouth. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I remember feeling so bad about it. And I was like, I thought this was just, you were just going to watch me sing. But I had comments like that, and my sister would be like, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know you. And even now, until now, every time I ask her about anything I'm like insecure about, or like every time anything I worry about, she's always like, they don't know you, or like, you're doing amazing and you're doing great. And my brother as well, who both live here now in Utah with me. Wow. So yeah, I honestly, because my brain tells me a lot of things that I shouldn't do, I wouldn't have been able to like do anything after that first video if not for the people who support me. It really is truly about community and about the, I found friends on YouTube, like friends who commented and were just there. More than the hate comments, there were a lot of people who enjoyed it and resonated and connected to the music I was putting out. And yeah, I learned to believe that that's all that truly matters.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm so happy that it was really through, right? Because as artists, right, we want to shoulder the burden of the outcome all the time, right? I mean, we grow up in a society, right, that tells us like your test scores are gonna, get you here. Like grow up in a system that says what you do now will dictate your life. And I think the kind of cool thing about, I'm not against college. I actually want to go back. But I think the healthy thing that we've been seeing in our kind of society lately is people, kind of detaching from like the social need and the burden to have to go to school or, college just to be happy. But I think that like a lot of it has been inspired by art, right? Has been like the last decade of seeing people achieve their wildest dreams through kind of like taking a chance on their own creativity, right? And maybe, you know, getting to a place where they feel comfortable enough to express themselves. But, you know, that takes a journey. And oftentimes it is the people around us that can really tell us what the truth is, because our brain always, right? We always, like, especially now after the pandemic, you know, our fight or flight response is so active because we don't know what's safe. And so a lot of times, you know, it's our ego that's telling us that, you know, to be safe, and we need it to be safe. But at the same time, sometimes what can happen is our the ability to just be and like be ourselves and know that that's okay, especially as an artist where everything is predicated, or it feels like everything's predicated on the final product. It can get really tough, you know, and we can really beat ourselves up. So I'm so glad that you have a great, you know, support. And honestly, anybody else listening to this right now, I encourage you, really, if there is no support around you, I hope and pray that, you know, the universe sends you somebody or someone around you, because, and I would actually encourage you to take that responsibility on yourself to find and be around people, like that. Like, for me, I grew up in Washington State, but I didn't feel like I was, around enough creatives that would encourage me. At least I just wanted to be around people that were doing the same thing. And so I had to move, you know, and some people move, anywhere they go. And I mean, Ysabelle, you've moved a few times in your life, right? If I can ask you, you know, kind of on that same trajectory, like when was the moment that you were like, you know, I think I could do this full time, like, and I want to do this full time. Like, can you explain that kind of process?
For sure. I think, like the rest of the population, I had a breakthrough during the pandemic. Um, but I've been doing YouTube for about 6 years now, and I don't know. I feel like I've said this before. I've said this a lot, but I went to college for nursing, and then after college, I got my license, and then I worked for 2 years during the pandemic as a nurse. Um, so
Craziest of
right,
guys.
craziest of times. I feel so grateful for the growth and like the experience of that, and the many people that I got to serve with. It feels weird to say that, but like during the time, but it definitely helped me grow a lot as a person to do super hard things like that. I don't know how my mom did it over these last many years. It's such a hard job, but during the pandemic, I kept like making music on the side for YouTube, and I kept working during the night. Um, and then I don't know. I think.
What was your schedule? If you could give people a
Oh yeah, I worked. So I had to work like 12-hour shifts. So um I would do like 3 days of 12-hour shifts. And then I would take one day off, and then I would do three more. And then I remember there's times when I like would do six, and with like a day off in between. And then I would take the 2 weeks off. So I had to like fill the hours a certain amount of time, whatever, so that I could take certain amounts of days off, and I could go to the Philippines and
well, you had to
do
fill up the quota of hours so it would free you up.
yeah. So I could like spend a week or two. Like I would like go to the Philippines for like 8 days, and then I would come back and do six more shifts. It was crazy. I don't know how I did it. It was like sheer like I don't know.
Willpower.
I don't know what got into me. Willpower, yes. I don't drink coffee, so
That's easy to say.
no, I don't.
Better on you. That's amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, it feels whatever sparks your passion to like fulfill your dream, I guess. But mine was, and I've always known in the last 3 years, I feel like that I wanted to pursue music. I was never brave enough to do it. Like I was scared of what was unknown. I was scared of failing, like like a lot of people. Um, but one time BTS reacted to one of my covers. I'm a big fan of BTS.
Whoa, hold on. Let's just say,
Backtrack.
yo, BTS reacted. Okay. Explain what happened.
Okay. So over the years, I've posted like BTS covers, because I'm such a big like K-pop fan, and I've always loved BTS songs. So I would post English translations of their covers, and I think it was in 2020. I don't remember what it was, but I one of the representatives from the glamour videos where it's like you sang my song, and BTS was one of the features for that episode, and they were like, "Hey, we wanted to interview you on your journey as a K-pop cover artist or whatever." They didn't tell me what it was gonna be about, and so
They never do.
Okay, cool. No, they never do. It's so crazy. And then I was just like, she was like, "Can you watch this video?" And it was BTS reacting to one of my covers, and it was like epitome of my fangirl life. I was like, I could die right now knowing that they've seen
Everything's
my face. I would be fulfilled. That was the peak of my existence. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But probably.
Probably, yes.
Probably. And yeah, I after that video, and they were just like saying, "Oh yeah, I love this. I love this like cover. I love this rendition. I'm going to go home and watch this again." Like, this is like coming from people who I look up to, artists that I look up to. And then I just had those little, not so little experiences that kind of kept like urging me, or like helping me inch towards that path of saying, you can do this. Like, if people that you love, I mean, Big Bang as well has been a big part of, like, 2 years before that, I sang at Taeyang's concert in LA. And these are just, sorry, I'm not bragging at all.
No, not at all. It's a journey.
I'm just so grateful that like these pockets of like miracles are like happening in life to kind of like, I think it's just I love God, so I'm just gonna talk about him. But like, for him to remind me, if I don't hear it in myself, and it's not enough that people around me are telling me that, then I'm gonna let you know that the artists that you look up to also look up to you, or like also think you can do it. And I think he just knows I'm deaf. So he's just like, okay, let me tell you the loudest I can do it. But yeah, and yeah, that was that when I got featured on that video, and I was just like sitting at work, and I was just like, what am I doing? I
watches that work.
Yeah.
That's amazing. See it better.
I think it came out while I was at work, or no, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Because I would show everybody at work if I were you. I would walk around with my laptop or my phone.
Yeah, I had a coworker who was like a big BTS fan. I was like, "Oh, check this out, girl."
Oh my god! I was freaked out.
She did. But I was just like, I think in that moment I was like, I think I can do this. I've tried everything, and I've done everything I can to push and push, like while juggling both of them at the same time. So I feel like I owe it to the opportunities I was given, and the blessings I've received, to be a good steward of this gift, or this incredible, like, I don't know, journey that I get to partake as well. So to pursue it. So, and I wouldn't have done it without the help of people too. My current manager, Mitch.
Shout out.
He's a rock star. Shout out, Mitch.
The greatest.
The greatest. OP. I was sitting with him in the studio recording a song. This is the first time I met him, like, ever. And he was like, I think you should pursue this full time. Let me manage you, and we'll work on it together. And I was like, what the heck? What are you talking about? You're crazy.
You're crazy.
I just did. I think it helped a lot to have somebody who's like super logical, and like can tell you as it like it is, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a long-winded way
No,
of saying that was
that's
the
so
moment.
great. That was so great. I love what you said. You said like like I don't these pockets of miracles. I mean, I think that is so important to kind of like zero in on, because it doesn't like, I'm sure that there were so many other pockets of miracles that didn't, not just BTS, but other people in your life too that were it was all like kind of kinetic, right? Like where it's not just one, but it's like it's all of this kind of growing, all the support, and then interestingly enough, it's seems like it's one instance that we're like, oh my gosh, this all clicks. But I really believe it's like the family, everybody around that's been constantly, encouraging, not pressuring at all. It sounds to me like you were able to let go a bit of like the outcome. I mean, as much as we are, we are very outcome based and everything. The thing that I've been working through a lot is trying to untether my mind from having the responsibility of the outcome, because, the outcome is something that we can't control. All we can do is control the inputs and make sure that our strategy and our plan is sound. But at the end of the day, everything is, it's kind of like I've been golfing lately. So, but like, it's kind of like even with like the YouTube videos, right? There comes a point where you just have to let go. And, for me and kind of my spiritual journey, like I've just been hearing that a lot lately and I've been trying to listen a lot more, like and the thing I've been feeling a lot is let go, because, and I say all that because, yeah, it seems like you've reached a point in your life where you're like, I can let go. The negative comments, they're not my task. They're not my responsibility. My responsibility is just to go get to hear, release it. And then, okay, now I go back and keep making music. Were you able to let go? It seems like your spirit is so much lighter lately.
It's definitely waves.
Waves, absolutely.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, we're just such forgetful creatures, I feel like, as humans. We are in constant need of reminders. We have so many social cues everywhere. I feel like that's why there's signs everywhere, or like, because I don't know, and we're bound to forget a lot of times. And so I have moments especially when I'm just like by myself and um just worried about certain uncertainties, like I usually do. I overthink a lot. But yeah, there's moments when other people validate the journey and like the pace and the timing that's happening in your lives. And sometimes it's just like, it just takes me like sitting down with God and like listening like really intently because like you said, like we have to just like get in tune with watching for that and hearing for those miracles, because they're everywhere. I feel like I missed most of the great things happening in life because I wasn't paying attention. I had these like blinders who were like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do that.
True.
Look around, just looking around. this is gonna sound really weird, but like another pocket of miracle that happened to me in college was like this is in college, and this probably impacted me just as much as that BTS music video, BTS reaction video. But I was in college and I was sitting in I think it was like my anatomy. I don't know. It was my like med surg class or whatever. And I went to go to the bathroom. This is in San Francisco, California, and nobody knows me here is what I always tell myself. I'm like, I was in school and I went to the bathroom and I looked at the bathroom stalls while I was peeing. This is so weird. But
this is great. I can't wait. This is like a movie. I'm like,
sorry. And I was just like, I looked to the bathroom for the bathroom wall on the left side. And the lyrics to a BTS cover I did, like it was the English lyrics. It wasn't even the Korean.
In there, because you'd flip the BTS cover. You would translate them.
Yeah, I would like translate them, and I would like rewrite them so it flows really well, and is understandable. And I saw this writing on that wall of like someone, like an encouraging lyric from, I think it was A Truth Untold, and it said my name on the bottom. I'm so scared to like I was like, I kind of want to erase it. I don't want people to think I'm vandalizing. But
And then you explain to the cops, like, no, that's my name. They're like, you're vandalizing. That's so fun.
But it was so great. It was like this person who was like who put that on there and was trying to encourage another person. He was like the writing on the bottom was like saying you're not alone. I think, and how was this? I came back to class and went back to learning it, but I was just like, that was such a weird moment. It was like so random, and like it was kind of just like that reminder of like people are listening. The universe is listening to you and your dreams, and you're reaching people. Um, whether you're aware of it or not, or whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always been what I loved about when I let go, and I think about what I love about it. I kind of just snap out of the overthinking mode and just like know that this is fun. I like this.
Yeah. You know,
So
thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing that, because I think that, right, you're so right. We us as artists, right, we're heads down. We've got our goals, right? We've got our milestones, and, we have this kind of thing where it's all like this trajectory, right? I feel like what we've been experiencing lately too, especially from, when YouTube really started to hit and really kind of started to change people's lives. And I think what it did for the past decade is show people that they can take a chance at their own creativity, and there's so many artists that you've inspired, that just from doing what you love to do. I think that that's one of the best things about being a creative is we get to do the thing that we love. And then like the extra, like just, icing on the cake is that through that, we also get to impact people, and we get to know that like our contribution matters. Like I say it all the time now, but like I'm reading this book, and it talks about this type of psychology, and Adlerian psychology says that happiness is actually a contribution, and we're happiest when we contribute to community. Because interestingly enough, they talk about in this book, loneliness can only happen if there are other people around, right? If we were just our own being, right, and we didn't have any concept of like anyone else, any other humans, and we were all alone on a planet, we wouldn't have any concept of loneliness. But it's about, loneliness weirdly is about other people, because we can be in a room full of, thousands of people, but still feel so alone. And it kind of talks about in the book how one of the things to help with that is actually to contribute and to find that feeling of, oh, the things I do matter. And I think for a long time, artists, we create in a vacuum, right? We were alone in our, the joke, right, about creatives and producers is that, after like the shutdown of 2020, all the producers and artists came out and were like, what shutdown? Because we're just alone anyway, like just working.
yes.
But interestingly enough, when we really look at these footprints of our past and the journey, that it's always been through other people believing in us, right? It's always been about people helping us through our insecurities of thinking that we don't contribute. And I believe that that's where I personally want the music industry to come back to, is that it's not just this unreciprocated thing of art where it's just about making money, or no, it's art actually can exist, and it does it echoes across time and space, and it echoes in these galaxies that we have in our hearts, and these things get passed down, like it's incredible to see how much art has impacted us. And I really hope that we can get to a place where we can, honor the artists, the people that are speaking for us, because we're all fans, right? We're all fans of somebody, and we take to, these artists because they're saying things that we can't, or we don't even know how to say, even if we are artists ourselves, So I just love that, like, so much of your journey was about community, and it seems like you're happiest when you are giving to that community. Is that right?
Sure. Oh, for sure. 100%. Ah, amazing. That's I've always known that it's like I'm the saddest when I'm alone. People need their alone times. I definitely do appreciate my alone
Same.
times. But when I think about myself is the most confused. I am sometimes, like when about my purpose. But when I like look outwardly, and when I look at like what, like even if it's like, even if you're creating just for yourself, and not doing it for the purpose of serving other people, but doing it for the purpose of just loving the process and loving the growth from it. I think I was also reading this book called High Performance Habits, and one of the points he makes there was that like one of the key components of being a high performer is seeking, like having courage to just to like live your dream, and like, or live your authentic self, and
Wow.
not minimizing. Don't make your dream small to placate others, is really how he worded it. I feel like that's how he worded it. It's like, because sometimes we feel like, if I am too much, it'll overwhelm this other people, or if I'm too like to this or to that, um it'll just the worries of how other people might think.
The disappointments of others, right?
Yeah, the disappointments of others. But he was like saying that it's really you're doing a disservice to the people who love you if you minimize like your dream like that, because you're not trusting them enough to support you through it, and you're not like,
It's almost like you're unvalidating their opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And like, I don't know, what I got from it was that like the more authentic and the more loud you are about your dreams and your passions and your goals in life, the I don't know, the more authentic people you get to connect with. And because it's something that a lot of people struggle with as well. Yeah.
Authenticity is like it's so key, right? It's almost like there's so many tales of like the struggling artist, right? The one that we're and interestingly enough, like I think that we've gotten incredible art, right, from really sad artists, and really, we have our own traumas, we have our turmoils. But I think that there's also a part that we're missing in this artist conversation, is that like our traumas don't have to define our future, right? They can be learning lessons, right? That we can then choose better. Like it doesn't have to be like the scorn artist doesn't always have to be, right? What I'm excited to see now is artists launching with communities and with people that love them and support them. And with Fandid, I mean, all about Fandid.
For sure.
And I know, Ysabelle's a big supporter of what we're doing. But especially, that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to teach a different, more equitable, a safer way, in a sense, to launch a career. And that's through, allowing fans to do more and become an investor into the projects that we're launching. Because, it's the tools of today, right? I mean, even just creating a YouTube video, right, Ysabelle, it's time intensive. It takes so long, right? Especially like, I feel like our kind of artist brand are very similar. We make, these, we love beautiful music. We love, especially doing these Victorian covers into our own kind of, and they're all these church type of vibes, because that's what bro. But it costs time, it costs energy, it costs money. And a lot of the times, the revenues of being an artist are just not like it used to be. Like, I mean, YouTube doesn't pay as well for artists as people think, because just to kind of pull the veil from the curtain, or pull the veil back a little bit, is CPMs and payments are paid out based on, at least from what I've learned, the industry, because it's all about advertising dollars. And so you'll have a lot of beauty influencers making a lot of money because there's so much advertising dollars from all these brands that are putting into it. So they're paying based on that. But with artists, there's not a whole lot of music brands that are advertising, so the payout is a lot smaller. And we hope with Bandit to help change that. If I could ask you, for like what's next, with you and Mitch, what can we expect, and how could people really support you moving forward?
Great. I'm glad you asked. So I have taken a step back from doing covers recently, because we have been working on an EP. Um, I have songs now for an EP. They are written and they are in the production stages. I'm so excited. It's it's not a thing I like. I turned 26 in a couple of days, and I'm having this quarter life crisis.
His birthday. Happy birthday, Shanine. Yay.
Thanks. But it's like this is not where I imagined myself a year ago. But it's better than what I expected. Anyway, I have an EP that we're working on. We will probably be releasing a couple of them as singles in the next couple of months, I think. So please watch out for those. We have a great team. We spent so much time like finding our people, finding our friends, and finding people who believe in the same vision, like you know. And yeah, it's super exciting. It's super scary. It's nothing I've ever done before. But it's exciting. It's exciting. All I want to do is to honor this journey and honor the struggle that's coming, which is so exciting. But yeah,
I mean, Ysabelle, you really deserve. I'm just so glad because like when we met, it was. I know that you were really trying to figure this out, especially you were working, full time, and I'm so excited for you to be able to take, kind of this year and be able to, full time focus on this and put all your energy into it. And Mitch is now through you become like one of my closest friends, and I just really believe in especially, I mean, his heart and everything that you guys are doing. I'm so excited. I think that, I think one of the other things I'm hearing also, like just, from this whole conversation, just trying to listen to what we need is to really honor the moment too, right? Because we project all the time, and it's kind of our default mode network to like always think about the future. But it's weird, right? Like it's kind of like cooking. Like if I don't, like if I'm making caldereta or something, right? Like if I don't take the, and I've figured out my system where I start with the meat, the beef, start with that, get that like crust on there. But if I don't take the time to actually season each part, right? If I don't take the time to like focus on that part of the process, then it only sets me up for like a bland flavor later, right? And in this process of being an artist, like we're always pulled from economic, needs, right? We have to go work this job. We have to, and really time is the only commodity we really have. So I'm so excited to be able to see, what happens with this journey, but also, I'm excited to dream with you. And obviously, that I'm always here to support, and especially the Fanded team. So yeah, we're super excited for that. If I can ask you one last question before you go, if you could go back to your 15-year-old self, and if you could remember who, like I always say this in these podcasts, but like when I was 15, like I was just so anxious. I didn't know, like what life was. I knew that I wanted to do music, but I wasn't sure how. If you could go back and knowing where, the last few years of where you've ended up in the sense, or where you're at now in your journey, what would you tell your 15-year-old self?
Oh, wow.
It could be a series of things too. Some people had like prepare like a list of things, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That is crazy. I remember getting my first guitar on my 15th birthday. I think my parents gifted me my guitar at 15.
Yeah, let's go there.
And
right when Rise addressed her guitar, she's in a room, and
wow.
Ysabelle from the future shows up.
Oh wow. I don't know. I think it's gonna be okay. My poor anxious little self. It's gonna be okay. The things that you're worrying about now is not gonna matter in 2 days. But enjoy the moment. I wish I'd enjoyed more of the moments and the I don't know, the people I got to meet, and the trials I got to experience, and it's gonna be okay. You are beautiful and you are loved, and I don't want to go cheesy, but
we love cheese.
We love cheese. It's gonna be okay. You are gonna have so many experiences that you didn't think was ever possible, and then you're gonna like the bushel is that a word? The bushel that you were trying to go into wasn't what you were meant to be. Like these moments just cut you down to prepare you to become a bigger tree. And it's gonna hurt in the moment, but it's gonna be great. You're gonna meet angels along the way who will who will teach you and inspire you and um spend more time with your family. Dude, gosh.
That was beautiful.
But yeah, thank you, Guya. Honestly, you are one of my tender mercies.
Oh,
So
well, it's reciprocated, sis. Seriously, because yeah, you. I mean, I try to tell every artist I can, but like the world is better when you create. Truly, the world turns from because of creativity. And what I've been discovering lately is that technology and these this world of business and systems, we cannot improve if it's not inspired by art. And so, truly, Ysabelle, we want you to continue for as long as you can live the life of art and dance the life of art. And we're all here for it. So thank you so much for being here, and we can't wait to have you again because we want to do an update, especially later.
yes, let's go. I will send you my demo reel if you want it.
Oh yes,
For the
can't wait.
EP.
Yes,
But thank you for having me. Thank you. You guys are the best. Wish you the best as well, Kuya.
thank you so much, Ysabelle.